Akil, we are back out here, part 2 of NBA Summer League. We got a lot of days ahead of us still. You are watching Raptors Today. I'm Savanna Hamilton, alongside, of course, the man, Akil Augustine.
What's up?
We got a lot to talk about today because we have a huge signing underway here. Otto Porter Jr. He signed, he talked to media. We're going to get there in a bit. But what are your initial thoughts?
How tall is he?
He's pretty tall.
6'9".
Yeah,
Seems
he's
about
pretty
right.
tall.
He seems about the exact size and fit that the Toronto Raptors are looking for when they continue to build out this roster under the prototype that Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri's kind of envisioned, right? He's 6'9", 40% from 3. So it's kind of that model of the guys like OG and then Pascal even. And just long bodies, interchangeable on defense, switchable. We got to give a big shout out to his wife because there's a little insider trading there. She is a fellow Torontonian, a native. So, I mean, when Golden State refused to ante up, it became the perfect fit for Otto Porter, and I think it's going to work out because he's also a veteran who's won a championship, and that's kind of the next step for this Raptors group, despite having Fred and Pascal who've been there. Another guy that's been there and more recently helps with the whole chemistry leaning forward for this Raptors organization.
Absolutely, and something that isn't intangible but like not to be dismissed at all is the fact that he's an NBA champion, fresh NBA champion too. So he's bringing that winning pedigree to the Raptors squad as well. Of course, you still got the Freds, the OGs, the Pascals who's been there, done that. But to have another guy who say, hey, this is how you get it done, speaks volumes.
Volumes.
So with that being said, we got to hear from him himself.
Turn up the volume.
Hey.
When you were considering your free agency opportunities, what made Toronto and the Raptors something that you had, that you ended up choosing?
I played against Toronto a lot. Been in Washington D.C. Love the city. My wife is from here. It just made sense.
How hard was it to leave Golden State? Given the timing.
Yeah, I know, right? Perfect timing. It was tough, obviously winning a championship there, and I think a lot of guys were expecting everybody to be back to run it again. So it was a tough decision, but I'm locked in with those guys for life. We had an unbelievable year, and this is a new opportunity for me to come to Toronto and have aspirations to win a championship here.
There are some guys on this team, obviously, that have a championship as well, but still a relatively young group. What did you take from your experience, not only in the finals, but obviously the run leading up to the championship, that you can pass on to some of those younger guys here over the next season plus?
I've been in the league for so long, and going to a team that have vets and a mixture of young guys, you've seen what it took, to put it all together, and I think that I've learned a lot from being in Golden State that I can bring to this team, especially with the younger guys. You have some young guys that grew up here and won a championship, so just to bring some more veterans, leadership qualities to the team to, continue to piece it together and continue to pretty much just work together and try to get to that level again.
You just heard from Otto Porter Jr. Now we got to talk about Justin Champagnie. He spent a lot of time with the 905. He did see some Raptors minutes with the big stage as well. What stands out to you about him?
Well, we had the conversation that you're going to hear in a matter of moments, but what stood out is he knows who he is, right? He's not coming out here to be a different player. He's kind of had his expectations set from the Raptors coaching staff and front office that there are things you already do that we like. We just need you to take those exact same things and refine them and get better at them. They're not looking for him to become a superstar scorer. They're looking for him to fill a role with a group, and I think he's doing that. And shouts out to the camaraderie he's building with, of course, our guy Delano Banton.
Oh, his son?
Whoa, wait, okay. That's the rumor. They've been going back and forth with each other on that one.
Yeah, okay, they've been going back and forth all season. It's inside joke there. But, what really stands out to me about Champagnie is the fact that he has such a tenacity when adversity is thrown his way. He actually has stepped up to the plate. In fact, in the second half of the season, I feel like he had an added boost of motivation. He dropped a 45-point game, and then, you would think that maybe that's a good moment, but he kept that momentum throughout the entire second half of the season. And contributing not just on the offensive end, but also rebounding, defense. Like everything he does is with intention, and you really see that with his game. So with that being said, Akil, we got to hear from Justin Champagnie.
So what was the feedback coming out of season 1 and kind of the expectations coming into season 2 in regards to the conversations you've had with front office and coaches?
Just continue to be an energy guy, do what I do best, and work on my shooting and ball handling still. Just keep making it more consistent for myself.
You took a giant step towards the second half of the last season. What are you looking to prove here at Summer League?
That I could be consistent. That I'm that guy. Like I could be a reliable piece to the team and just continue to be that dog.
Now your twin will be playing against you as a 76er. What's the thoughts and feelings going into that game and playing against your brother in the NBA now?
That's been a lifelong dream. Obviously, I want to play the same team as him. That's been my lifelong dream. But just to even get on the court against him at this level is just a blessing. And I told him, if you want to score, just stay away from me. Because I'm going to lock him up, and it's just going to be a fun game for me, and I'm looking forward to it.
And any expectations you set personally in terms of showing something maybe you haven't shown or impressing a coach upon, like maybe something he's keying on with this group? And also, I'd like to ask about the leadership role that you're being asked to play while you're here with these guys.
I would say just being more of a leader. Like I feel like I showed that I could shoot. I could put the ball on the floor a little bit now. I'm just going to keep working on that stuff. But being a leader is the main thing and trying to bring the team to win. I like to win, so I want to win. So just showing that I could be that guy to help winning.
And you had a practice in with Coloco. Fans are extremely excited about him. What have you seen from that young man?
Very high energy. He's tall, lengthy, he could jump. This guy is crazy. But yeah, I think he's a great player. And he's energetic, he's ready to play, so that's the main part.
Now we have to talk about David Johnson. Now he really flew under the radar this past season. He was dealing with a lot of adversity in terms of injuries and recovery and then health and safety protocol, but he's coming back literally bigger and better. You already see it here at Summer League. Tell me what you saw, Akil.
Well, I saw a bigger body, you were right. We saw a guy that looked a little bit more confident in his frame. Struggle with, of course, the body. He talks about it in our interview. You're going to hear that next. But I think the big thing for him was, kind of the other side of being a professional, not just on the basketball court. There's huge margins for improvement in terms of sleep, in terms of diet. And he talks about this. This is a big change for young players who are becoming professionals. You're used to, going out late at night, eating junk food, all the sorts of stuff that you do collegiately. It's a whole new level. You got to get your sleep in because you're hopping on a jet plane to another city the next night. And I think this shows a huge commitment on him for his professional career, because if he wants to stick around, he's got to be available. The best ability, availability.
Absolutely. And one thing that head coach Patrick Mutombo, the former 905 coach, did say about David Johnson repetitively this past season was David Johnson's one of the most serious young men that he has coached. I think at one point he said he was the oldest, youngest guy ever that he's ever coached, because he takes that level of commitment to the game seriously. And you could tell just by his structure already coming into the gym, and he's holding presence. You could tell that he's also taking more of a leadership role in Summer League. He had great moments with the 905 when he was healthy, when he was available, but now he's looking for consistency. So we're going to let him go ahead and talk about that himself. So you're back in Summer League. Obviously, you're here last season as well. What is your expectations, and how have they changed from this year to last year?
Nothing's really changed. I want to get in and impact winning whenever I get in the game, dominate my competition, help my team win, have fun while I'm playing. Nothing's really changed because I don't really see any pressure.
You mentioned getting in the best shape of your life. Obviously, last year you did have some injuries. Have you tweaked anything else in your game on the court in terms of offensive or defensive sides?
I've done some things with my jump shot. It's gotten a lot quicker. I've been working on that a lot over the last couple of months, and my explosiveness just on the court, whether that's crashing the boards or just being able to grab a rebound off the rim, I feel like I'm jumping pretty well right now.
NBA players go off on their own. They get their trainers. They find a nice run. They work on something specific during the summer. What was your game plan for the time away from team that you had?
To improve my body. I think last year I played a lot with the 905, and I had some spurts where I was injured, and that was because of my body. And this summer I've took the time to take care of it and get in shape and potentially the best shape of my life. And I'm excited to see what I can do.
And what are you telling guys who are coming into Summer League brand new? This is their first time. What advice are you giving to them?
Just giving them a lot of help on the things that I didn't really necessarily know last year and couldn't really ask anyone because I was with fairly new people. But I'm just giving all the guys the tips that they need, and we're kind of helping each other.
Thank you.
Lastly, speaking of the new guys, Christian, fans are dying to get some kind of insight on him. What have you seen from the young guy, both on and off the court, in the limited time you've had so far with him?
I see him as probably a tree when you're on the court. He takes up a lot of space. He's very athletic, shot blocker, great energy guy. He's really good. I watched him play a little bit last year when he was at Zona, and he's a really good defensive player.
You just heard from David Johnson. Now keep in mind that there's going to be tons of live games on NBA TV Canada. What are you looking forward to watching? Raptors or non-Raptors?
It goes non-Raptors for me, and it's the Orlando Magic because they put themselves in a precarious position by taking Paolo, number one, and we've seen Chet Holmgren play, and oh my gosh, does he look good. So I'm curious to see how the Orlando Magic handle how much they put on Paolo in this summer league because the conversations just started on did they flub this draft?
I think the conversations have started also because off the court, Pablo, he's a bit more of a quieter guy, but Chet, he's out here and he's making his presence known. And to be honest, I think social media, we eat that up.
Oh, yeah,
we want to see if you could back that up, and so far, so good. So I'm looking forward to seeing Chet as well. But you could catch the Raptors playing against the 76ers. This is going to be the Champagnies versus each other July 9th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern or 12:30 local on Sportsnet. From myself, Savanna Hamilton, Akil Augustine, Rob Leth, Jake LaRue, and Evan McDermott, thank you for watching Raptors Today.